Today we are going to talk about types of academic writing. The four main types of academic writing are descriptive, analytical, persuasive, and critical. Each of these types of writing has specific language features and purposes. In many academic texts, you will need to use more than one type. For example, in an empirical thesis, you will use critical writing in the literature review to show where there is a gap or opportunity in the existing research. The methods section will be mostly descriptive to summarize the methods used to collect and analyze information. The results section will be mostly descriptive and analytical as your report on the data you collected. The discussion section is more analytical as you relate your findings back to your research questions, and also persuasive as you propose your interpretations of the findings. The simplest type of academic writing is descriptive. Its purpose is to prove facts or information. An example would be a summary of an article or a report of the results of an experiment. The kind of instructions for a purely descriptive assignment include identify, report, record, summarize, and define. It's rare for university-level texts to be purely descriptive. Most academic writing is also analytical. Analytical writing includes descriptive writing, but also requires you to reorganize the facts and information you describe into categories, groups, parts, types, or relationships. Sometimes these categories or relationships are already part of the discipline, while in the other cases, you will create them specifically for your text. If you're comparing two theories, you might break your comparison into several parts. For example, how each theory deals with social context, how each theory deals with language learning, and how each theory can be used in practice. The kinds of instructions for an analytical assignment include analyze, compare, contrast, relate, and examine. To make your writing more analytical, spend plenty of time planning. Brainstorm the facts and ideas and try different ways of grouping them according to patterns, part similarities, and differences. You could use color coding, flowchart, tree diagrams, or tables. Create a name for the relationship and categories you find, for example, advantages and disadvantages. Build each section and paragraph around one of the analytical categories. Make the structure of your paper clear to your reader by using topic sentence and a clear instruction. In most academic writing, you are required to do at least one step further than analytical writing, the persuasive writing. Persuasive writing has all the features of analytical writing, that is, information plus reorganization the information, with the addition of your own point of view. Most essays are persuasive, and there is a persuasive element in at least the discussion and conclusion of a research article. Points of view in academic writing can include an argument, recommendation, interpretation of findings, or evaluation of the work of others. In persuasive writing, each claim you make needs to be supported by some evidence, for example, a reference to research findings or published sources. The kind of instruction for a persuasive assignment include argue, evaluate, discuss, and take a position. To help reach your own point of view on the facts or ideas, read some other researchers' point of view on the topic. Who do you feel is the most convincing? Look for patterns in the data or references. Where is the evidence strongest? List several different interpretations. What are the real-life implications of each one? Which ones are likely to be most useful or beneficial? Which ones have some problems? Discuss the facts and ideas with someone else. Do you agree with their point of view? To develop your argument, list the different reasons for your point of view. Think about the different types and sources of evidence which you can use to support your point of view. Consider different ways that your point of view is similar to and different from the points of view of other researchers. Look for various ways to break your point of view into parts. For example, cost effectiveness, environmental sustainability, scope of real-world application. To present your argument, make sure your text develops a coherent argument where all the individual claims work together to support your overall point of view. Your reasoning for each claim is clear to the reader. Your assumptions are valid. You have evidence for every claim you make. You use evidence that is convincing and directly relevant. Critical writing is common for research, postgraduate, and advanced undergraduate writing. It has all the features of the persuasive writing, with the added features of at least one other point of view. While persuasive writing requires you to have your own point of view on an issue or topic, critical writing requires you to consider at least two points of view, including your own. For example, you may explain a researcher's interpretation or argument and then evaluate the merits of the argument or give your own alternative interpretation. Examples of critical writing assignments include a critic of a journal article or a literature review that identifies the strengths and weaknesses of existing research. The kinds of instruction for critical writing include critique, debate, disagree, and evaluate. You need to accurately summarize all or parts of the work. This could include identifying the main interpretations, assumption, or methodology. Have an opinion about the work. Appropriate types of opinion could include pointing out some problems, which it proposing an alternative approach that would be better, and or defending the work against the critics of others. Provide evidence for your point of view. Depending on the specific assignment and the discipline, different types of evidence may be appropriate, such as logical reasoning, reference to authoritative source, and or research data. Critical writing requires strong writing skills. You need to truly understand the topic and the issues. You need to develop an essay structure and paragraph structure that allows you to analyze different interpretations and develop your own argument supported by evidence.